Take three. Action. Welcome back, y'all, to another episode of Take Three. What's going on? Thank y'all for coming back and watching us. We got Lukey Lou in the building. What's up, y'all?
Yeah.
Hey. We got Big Meech down there. What up, Big Meech? Hello,
Mhm.
hello, hello. Got Rel in the building. I'm right here. I'm right here. Yeah. All right, the next show that we decided to watch, none other than Reality Check Inside America's Next Top Model. Why did we watch this, you're asking? Well, because it's number two TV shows on Netflix. That's why. So that must mean it's pretty popular. So if it's popular, we gonna critique it and we gonna let y'all know if it's really worth the watch. If y'all don't know, this documentary starred some of the people who, of course, were on the show: Tyra Banks, Miss J, Jay Manuel, and Nigel Barker. Okay, 24 seasons. America's Next Top Model. Did y'all know that? 24 seasons?
Mhm.
Oh wow. I mean, I watched it in the past. I didn't know they went that far. I think I stopped watching, way before 24 seasons, but wow. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
24
Yeah.
seasons from 2003 to 2018. So actually pretty recent that it just went off. Um, it came on Netflix February 16th, so it's pretty fresh. But like I said, it's number two. People have been watching it, and you know what that does? That makes people watch the show again. So, um, let's get down to it. Lulu, since you the girliest of the crew,
Yeah.
we'll let you go ahead and start and give us your opinion of what you thought about it.
Well, I definitely was an America's Next Top Model fan. I watched all the seasons. True. Sometimes I even watched Australia.
Hmm.
I love the Jays and everything that happened, but I was just so disappointed. I was so disappointed. You want to know something?
In who? In what?
I was disappointed in Tyra for multiple reasons. I feel like she changed. I feel like initially she started to give back and give people opportunity and set them up because of her struggles. But then I feel like she changed for television and ended up conforming. And I get it because that is showbiz, but it was messed up. And I think it was so messed up how she treated the people that she really like started with. That was the fucked up part that I don't respect her for. Um, But I do kind of understand with business, I guess, showbiz. But she had enough that she could have started her own shit. You know, all these people starting their own shit. I'm about to start my own network. I'm about to do my own shit. At that point, 24 seasons, she was big enough to do that shit. She just got too caught up. I am very disappointed in her. Of course, production. And
Hmm.
it was just sad. I guess it was sad just seeing how they watched the show and they were so excited and then how their storylines were just totally different and then how they were highlighted for negative things instead of the positive things and just how the media portrayed them. It was sad.
I mean, that
But
is
yeah.
deep. I don't even think she made it out 24 seasons. Remember, they said they started doing it without her. So you did all
Mm-hmm.
that and you kept
Fuck
on saying
her.
no sacred cows, no sacred cows. And you were one of them. Like,
Right.
it came back to you a little bit.
That's
I
how
mean, I did watch America's Top Model as well. Like, I was a fan. I can't remember when I stopped watching it, or I think it was when they just started changing it up too much too, and after the Jays and stuff left. And I have to say, yeah, um, I can't say that I was disappointed in everything that Tyra did, because I do feel like some of the stuff that people were upset about were things that were not necessarily maybe in her control of it.
Mm-hmm.
However, I do think all of the offset stuff, right? Because even if you're no longer working with those people, that doesn't mean that you don't have to, interact with them anymore. And then for Miss J to be in the condition and, you haven't visited him, you haven't done any of those things, as he says, yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like what does that have to do with it? And then even when they asked her about Mr. J, she was like, yeah, I don't want to talk about it. I do need to reach out to him. And I'm thinking, it's been X amount of years. Like if you really wanted to reach out to this man, you would have. So it does give the side eye of why you wouldn't keep in touch with them outside of the show. Because I can't necessarily say I blame her for them being released from the show, but you could have still, hung around them afterwards. That part was whatever. And then I actually kind of think some of them girls, like, so I get it, people don't want their behaviors and stuff posted around there and everything like that. But some of y'all, you did what you did, like, and you kind of knew a camera was there. So why are you pointing your finger back at her? Those are the
You
things where I'm
referring
like,
to the drunk girl
yes, she was
specifically?
one of them. She was
Okay.
one of them specifically, yes, because I had a hard time finding the empathy that she wanted me to have. So, like, that one I couldn't roll that one over to Tyra for it. It was like, yeah, this one's
I
squirrely.
can though.
Okay.
I
What?
can. Because I feel like when we're in certain positions, we have to be advocates for people like that. When you're in your job and when you're seeing certain things, you do have to be an advocate. She had enough creative control, I feel like, to not let that happen. I get it. She probably wasn't there and production did it, which is terrible, but to put it out there was a lot. Not that I know they signed their rights away and everything is needs to be shown, but they didn't have to show. And if she was drunk, that's my thing. Like, she was drunk and we're putting this out there. I think that at that point, if I was in a room and something was like that with one of y'all and they edited it in there and making it seem like this and this and that, I would advocate for you. I would be, no, we're not putting that on there. First off, because it's gonna look bad on us. Because she was drunk and she's 12. These kids, they were kids, they were 18. Like, I don't know. She could have did more, but we can't put all the blame on her. So I'm not saying that she's at total fault. And she's not their parent. And it is show business. But just when we're in, I know when I see myself where I want to be, I'm be in those positions so that I can make certain decisions. And I would never put a woman in that type of predicament and be okay with it.
So, Rel, if you was part of the production crew, what was you done?
Considering that she was drunk, I
Well,
would,
both of them were drunk too, though. Let's
Yeah.
fair. Both of them were drunk. Because I can
and
see if it was he, the guy wasn't. I'm sorry, I didn't ask you something and I meant.
no, go ahead, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying like if he was not drunk and she was, I completely be like, you know what, they was wrong because actually that's kind of a crime
Yeah.
too. But both of them were inebriated. So if we gonna advocate for him, what about her? I mean, advocate for her. What about him? Both of them was drunk. That's just, but okay. Production, what you gonna do? Production, are you rolling it? Are you airing it? What you gonna
I
do?
am not doing didn't they take a shower? I'm not doing no shower
Yeah.
scene. I'm not putting that on. I would maybe show them going in the room, but
Mhm.
we don't have to record them in getting it in because I think that's a whole nother level of privacy, regardless of what was signed or the cameras being there. You ain't there when I'm wiping my tail when I'm using the bathroom. Like, you ain't got to be there. You could still get the point across of what we did, showing us coming in the room and then cut.
Okay, I would agree with that. That it goes back to what I was saying before. The thing you can show certain things, you don't have to show everything, right?
Right.
You saw him making out in the hot tub, and then, like you said, you see him go back to that, and then you see later she had to confess to her boyfriend and stuff too.
Had
Yeah.
to.
And
She had no
yeah,
choice.
But that
yeah,
was reality back then, though, because a
Yeah.
lot of the reality shows I watched, they would be showing them going into the room, and they would show it, even though it was blurred, but they would show like the gray cam, whatever.
oh yeah,
They
Real
always
World was
did.
terrible about that.
Oh
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, they was always so I guess maybe like I said, that's why I couldn't find empathy of it for that thing. Not to
Yeah.
say I don't feel, bad that, like you said, these were young people being placed in a situation where,
Hmm.
you putting all the recipe of the alcohol, the men, the blah 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 blah. Um, It's just, oh, and it's probably better because you had a boyfriend too, honey. And how many girls was in that house? And yet you was the only one who found.
Yeah. I
Mm-mm.
definitely don't think it was rape. I think it was more so like, and I'm pretty sure the other girls got it in too. It just showed her and highlighted her because she had a boyfriend and because of her struggles, her family issues. And that's what
Mhm.
they were making a point to say too. They put people in these situations
Oh yeah.
on purpose based off of the information that they shared. She was very naive. And that's why I do feel bad for her. She wasn't taught that, but I just feel like just as a human being, a decent human being, I don't think that the man raped her by any means. I think that they were both drunk, but if I seen a person drunk like that, I wouldn't allow it to go that far. I'd be like, okay, you need to go to bed. Get her in the bed. That's how I feel. But even the ladies around didn't do anything. So it could be on all of them
Right.
too, because you got me fucked up. We in the house and you drunk as fuck. You can fuck him in the morning. How about
Yeah, I
that?
was going to say you can
Once you
sober up
sleep it
and
off. Yeah.
yeah, and see if that's still the decision that you would like to make. Because I definitely think
Yeah.
it's a bad decision. And them doing those photo shoots too, when people, had just experienced death, or the one where they kept on messing with the girl about the weight and stuff too. Because what did they ever do with the photos? What
Because
was
they
the
couldn't keep
purpose
the
of they?
photos to, then they say they couldn't use the photos
Mm-hmm. For
For
real
what?
like when
life
they
when they
left.
were there. Mm-hmm.
Really?
They said it was too theatrical and it wasn't like high fashion. It wasn't something that could be used.
And
Well, they
too
really
much
should.
makeup. They said it was too much makeup too. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they should have changed that definitely after a few seasons because at least you could have, had somebody rolling it out of there, just like how we say in this industry, you want to do roles that you can use in a reel.
Hmm.
Let me do photos that I could then get my lookbook together for. So I mean, basically, you're saying these girls walked out of there with no lookbook either?
With nothing. Went right back to Walgreens.
And Tyra went missing and
Oh,
didn't help her. That's what I'm thinking. Like if you a mentor of some sort, if I won, I don't know. Like she didn't have to hold nobody's hand, but I want to be with you.
As far as you're referring to like people who didn't win or people who won but didn't make it nowhere afterwards.
The
Because they had
people
the
who
one
did.
girl,
the
huh?
stigma.
Say that again?
The people who had the stigma from winning. You're talking about that part?
Mhm.
Because when it wasn't a girl and they kept saying she was fat, which I was like,
She wasn't.
and then she win and she couldn't, they ain't have no type of big section
Oh, now
for
her,
her.
that's a different one. I was talking about the Kenya when I said she wasn't. And I'm
Oh
not saying
yeah.
the other girl necessarily was, but I understand why she would have been in the plus size category. Let me
It
say
was a
that.
little racist too, though. I'm pretty sure the industry, especially the modeling agency, is racist because the one big girl that won was opening so many doors, but the other big girl couldn't. So, and she wasn't even big because I'm
At
fucking
all.
obese compared to her ass. And I'm just thinking like it was racist. Some of the things that happened, like even the one girl who didn't win, she still ended up being a model. Danielle, who won,
She
it was
couldn't.
just
Hmm. Now Danielle's story was kind of messed up because I think, like you said, they looked at her as a mentor, or you think that from the illusion of the show, and she's in this industry, that these connections kind of help push it forward. And it just seemed like the opposite for that. But I think in Tyra's perspective, at least, and also hearing her from the interview, because I'm shocked she was on there doing it. Um, I don't think she saw herself at that. I don't think that listening to her, it doesn't seem like she took that as her responsibility or her role. Her role was producer or whatever it was, host or whatever of the show. That's what that's what it came off to me like, that's what she felt like her only role was.
I think in the beginning she wanted something because I think her motivation started off great. And then once you're controlled by the media
Same.
and all this and well, clearly it wasn't her show because if they can kick you off your own idea and bring somebody else
mm-hmm.
in, then that tell you something. And she should have got that trademarked or something. But in any case, you live and you learn. But I think in the beginning she came in knowing what she wanted to do, but she ended up having to do what they wanted her to do because the plus size model mess, that was some bull crap. I do think it was a little bit of racism. Um, she talked about how there wasn't a lot of black models in the beginning. You know, that's one of the reasons she wanted to be a part of this. But later on in the seasons, it didn't seem like she was really like helping the black women. It seemed more like she was putting them down to me.
Mhm.
And
Same.
so I felt like her and I've never been in that case where somebody else kind of controls, they kind of control her, what she could do and what she can say. So we don't really know what we would do in situations like that. Looking from the outside in is like, yo, that's messed up. It is messed up. But we have never been in that type of situation where I can lose my show if I say no.
Well, she did.
Yeah.
Well, this is the thing. I'm gonna have to disagree there though, because I was shocked that at the end of it, she's talking about Cycle 25, which
Well, I mean, but that
that
was
you're involved
early.
in it, so you didn't have a problem. I'm saying, look, they're going to come out with another season.
Oh,
Yeah,
shoot.
because remember you just said 25 seasons. She said at the end, stay tuned for cycle 25. So she's doing it again. So to me, if she was this, like really, really stuck and felt and all those things, and not to say that she may not have had moments of that, right? Like I don't know all of the things behind it, but it would just seem counterproductive, was it counterintuitive that you would go back to that situation if it was as out of your control. I think there probably was some things there, but I definitely think she was feeding it on too, because it gave her opportunities. Look, she got her own talk show out of that.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
when she was going and doing a whole bunch of things. So it put her in that spotlight. So I think she wanted to, continue to remain there. I'm not saying good or bad of it, but I do think that seemed to be more of the angle versus being that, like mentor and help. Because when think about the Gap thing, when you said the plus size, I'm also thinking about how you had the black girl close up a Gap, but then you're gonna tell the white girl to get one so she can
Yeah,
be
I
profitable with the
agree.
Gap and the black girl can't. And
Right.
I find it hard that to believe that the network would care about that. That is something to me a model, or someone in the industry kind of knows or cares about. But it could have been them. It could have
But
been
she did
Puffy.
win though, didn't she? The one that,
The black girl did.
yeah.
That was Danielle.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
She
yeah,
won.
yeah, yeah. I did find, I was like, yo, that's crazy. Now that girl that had like 20, 30 extra teeth, that
Hmm.
was a free I would have been yeah, you can fix it if you can for free. Ain't gonna pay
But
nothing.
they fucked her up.
Did they?
Yeah, they messed her teeth up.
They look better than when she started.
No, they didn't. She looked a mess. They just pulled the ones off the top, but they didn't straighten. Like they looked a mess.
Well, all you gotta do is smile with the top teeth. You don't need to be adding the bottom teeth all the
You
time.
gotta look at her. She was messed up, but I don't know. Well, hopefully Tyra learned from it because she said she lives somewhere else. I forgot where she said she was when she was
Australia, I
doing
think.
Cycle 25. So hopefully she owns the rights now and hopefully she has more control. Because that's what, it kind of brings me to puts us in the mind like when we talk about how we create it now and we have our own creative control. But once we become mainstream, how everybody has their hands in the pot and then it's
Mhm.
control. But we're learning how to have our own, what's it called? Our own rights or what's it called? Licensing or whatever the fuck.
Mhm.
Hopefully she's learned from that. It is a different day and age.
Mhm.
More access to internet, just different things. So hopefully she doesn't have to worry about doing that and she can be better. And it looked like she been put through the fire. She gained all that fucking weight with her fat ass and got upset because they was calling her fat. That's what she get for bullying that girl.
And couple of girls though. She bullied a
Yeah.
couple of girls. I think
She
that's
learned
the
life.
thing that's kind of making me feel like it wasn't as whatever, because her personality starts to come out, and I do feel like she used that to bully some of them, because like you said, we put them in crazy positions, the
Yeah.
weight stuff. If you thought they was too big, why did you cast them?
That
Right.
part.
Just to keep calling them. I thought that was the point for plus size models, right? Am I tripping? Because I thought that was the thing.
To
I
do
thought
something out of the ordinary. I mean, because you think about the people who paved the way for her, the Grace Jones and Naomi Campbell and uh what's the
uh,
name?
Iman.
Iman. Yeah. These people, they want no black models like that. So for you to say, "Oh, we can't have gap teeth on," they ain't gonna take they ain't gonna sign no gap teeth, or they ain't gonna sign because you got a little bit of stomach hanging out. Like that's not what you did this for.
They said the same thing for her black ass. They, I don't want no black. I don't want no. And look what she did. I proved them wrong. So why, if that was the point of your show, why were
Mhm.
you acting like it was such a big thing? That's what I'm saying. The message when it started, it was different, but it
Mhm.
was still controlled and maybe for views. So I mean,
It was
like I said,
absolutely a lot for views because you can
hmm
even see when they start. Now, I never watched the show. Okay, that won't really my type of show. I do remember Eva Pigfeet, and second place was beautiful Yaya
Yeah,
DeCarlo.
yeah, oh
I
yeah.
love
And I
Yaya.
and I remember everybody was talking about it, and I was like, let me see what these two. I think it was like the last because Yaya came in second place, right? And then
hmm
Eva Pigfeet
Either
came in
one.
first. And so
Mhm.
I was like, let me see. And I was like, both beautiful women, by the way.
hmm
I'm a sucker for chocolate. And so I was like, Yaya. And out of all of them, those two women are still doing their thing. Because
hmm
Yaya had I actually messaged her because I wanted her to be a part of this. But
Ah!
she had a show that came out a couple years ago, but it only did
Oh,
one season and it was so good. Had
yeah.
Morris Chestnut in it.
Yes.
It was
Yes, yes.
so
Send
good.
it to me. I want to watch
I
it.
sure will. It was so good. Um, I hate that. I don't know why it went off air.
The network that was on.
It had to be because the
Yeah,
show
it was on
was good.
Fox. It was on Fox. I didn't get to see all the episodes, but I think it was on Fox, and that right there tells you
Oh yeah,
what,
yeah, yeah. You're right.
yeah,
Say
yeah.
less.
Yeah.
It's called Our Kind of People.
Our kind of
It's called
people.
Our Kind of People.
Mhm.
Really, really, really good show. She played Whitney Houston. Um, she's very talented. But out of all of them, like I said, I don't know all 20 something. I know two men won too when they started doing the men.
Yeah, see, I didn't watch the
I
TV.
ain't. I didn't see that one that much. I seen it when
I,
it was men against women, but
I saw
yeah,
I saw that doing research when we was because we had to, try to research this. But I
yeah.
think
And I met
Yaya and
Takara. She does sound baths and stuff here in
who
Atlanta.
that?
So Takara,
Yes.
yes.
I
So yeah,
remember Takara because they
I
was
don't remember
talking about she was
she
Takara.
was on
big.
Eva's. She was on Eva's and them season two. I think I want to
The
say.
one that hated Eva.
Oh yes, because Eva used. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I liked Eva, and I feel like anybody that didn't is a hater.
I didn't watch it, but I
Yeah,
think she's
I
very
was an
pretty.
Eva the Diva fan.
Yes. I mean, because I like when
Still
people
am.
speak and say it. Like, it is what it is. And but the speaking and say it, I will have to say this too about the Jays and all of them.
Yes.
So, it kind of took a victim slant to meet them too. However, I do remember you all being some mean girls on the show as well.
Who you
hmm
talking about? Me?
No,
Oh.
the
Oh, you
guys,
talking
Mr. J.
about the
Yeah.
Jays. Okay,
Yes,
okay.
yes, yes. They were some mean girls as well.
I think
And
it was harsh, but they exploiting is totally different than them giving criticism and being harsh. You know what I
because
mean?
the other chick, what's the other chick that actually played that be on RuPaul's Drag Race? What's her name? That was on the show for a little while. She was going in.
ISIS. Yeah, the ones with Trump.
Isis,
Yeah.
Who?
ISIS, I think her name was
No, no,
ISIS.
no, no, no. The one from Jersey. Um,
Janice,
Janice. Yes, yes,
Janice
yes.
Dickens.
Oh, okay,
She's a
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
bitch.
Now she was
Yeah.
on a whole nother level. Like,
Yes.
I
She
meet me
probably how
outside.
exactly how they really be though. So at least they had that. That's what I'm thinking. That's probably exactly how those people at the ghosties be.
Oh
Like,
Yep.
yeah.
oh, she
Yeah,
looks
yeah.
like a pig and black, blah, 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 blah. I don't like. Yeah, that's probably
Hmm.
exactly. She's a representation of that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
And
they don't
that's
know
supposed
no
to be
better.
some standard of beauty. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay.
Who
Especially
said
when
that
you
was
get
beautiful?
skinny.
Because I don't think that skinny, like that ain't that one chick that had the corset on and then her waist was like that. I was
Mm-hmm.
like,
Mm.
cute.
That's society's standard of what beauty is, though, but more European. That's how I feel.
Not, right,
Mhm.
about to
That's
say
why.
not in
Mm-hmm.
this culture.
Yeah, not in
Uh-huh.
this culture.
And I think that's why it was hard for Black women to break in because naturally, even the women that we said had full lips. Their hips may not have been
Spacious.
like wide, but it was still you could tell they were curvy. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like if they gained some weight, you can really see some curves. So they didn't fit that kind of very up and down. I still don't get that aesthetic either. I'm gonna be honest, but yeah,
I'm never gonna get it, and I'm fine.
exactly. Is that's what they're and it makes
But
it
now
sound
you
to me.
see, it's definitely changed because they getting bodies like us.
Right,
They
but we'll still
never
try to
mind.
throw
That's a
some
whole nother.
shade.
What'd you say?
That's a whole
And
nother
then
thing,
still,
right?
yeah, still try to throw some shade and stuff there too.
Oh, well, that ain't going. Yeah. So let me ask you. When Tyra and the crew or the production, when they would do things like they had that one girl do a death scene where she got shot and she was talking about how that was very emotional for her because her mother had passed from a gunshot. What was she passed or she was something like that?
She had got shot. She
Paralyzed.
was paralyzed.
Paralyzed. Would y'all consider that using Tara trying to use that as a strength to pull something out of the models, or do y'all think that was like a little conniving type of you using something that I told you in privacy, or not necessarily in privacy because they put a lot of stuff on the application or
Mhm.
whatever, but kind of using that knowing it's a sensitive type of topic for me.
I think it was conniving. I think it was intentional to have them show emotion, which emotion does create good artistic work. So I mean, but I feel like they did it more so for the views. I don't think they really did it for that to see growth at that point.
Yeah, I'd have a hard time seeing where the therapeutic part went. I mean, like if you had that person go see somebody afterwards, because I mean, you think about it, you're opening up potentially a wound for someone, and then they go out in the house, be all going off on people and stuff. So if it was therapeutic, I feel like there would have been something else around it. But they did that, and they did that to a lot of people too, even if it wasn't, may not have been all talked about in the documentary. But I do remember a lot of episodes where I was like, somebody just died, and now they having to get into a coffin or play a dead. It was just something that's what's like. Those were the ones that made me wonder, like, what are y'all gonna do with these photos? Like, yeah. So I think it was TV driven and
Yeah.
insensitive and insensitive.
Yeah, I agree. But it can be a motivation, especially us working in the film industry. Sometimes you got to channel into that emotion, and you have to take yourself there to get the scene that you need. Now, I do like what y'all said. I do believe it was a lot of TV because they stopped coming up with good ideas. So I feel like they was taking the contestants' ideas, well, or their life, and trying to put it, make a reality show about it.
Speaking of ideas, the one with the race, I didn't get that. I still don't get
Changing
it
the
to this day.
race.
Yeah, this to this day. Now, I will say I was younger, so I don't think I fully understood the context behind all of it. I just remember sitting up there. I remember looking like she don't even look right. Why wouldn't you use the black person? Because it never turns out right when you try to make a black person darker. Zoe, when the Nina Simone thing, did y'all see that? Yeah, that
Mhm.
didn't. It just doesn't ever look smooth or right. Even Tropic Thunder when they did it, even though it was funny, but you could tell it's just
I
like
don't
it
know. I did not know. I did not know at first because I ended up watching that movie. A friend of mine, they was like, "Come on, let's watch it." I had never even heard of it, and I was like, "Who this black man?" And I was like, "No,
You remember?
that's not no black man." It took me a while because I was like, "That's a black man. That
Yeah,
wasn't no black
that might be the
man."
only one I approve of,
But
but
he's
and
an
I don't even
amazing actor,
approve.
though, and the
Yeah,
fact that
Yeah.
he had the acting down pat, Robert Downey Jr. is
yeah,
that dude. But yeah, that one got me though. That one got me.
yeah. But they had it on that show. The people looked a hot ass mess. It didn't give artistic at all.
Yeah,
And
So
then all the white girls were so excited, like, oh my God, I get to be, I loved it. I loved it.
I can say the N word.
Right. Like it just irritated
oh
me.
I do.
yeah,
I'm glad that it wasn't just a white or black type thing. I'm glad that at
Yeah.
least if they were going to do it, they did bring Asian and Indian and other different cultures and races.
I didn't like it at all, but I don't know.
I don't
yeah.
like
Because they
seeing
did
white
say that
people with
sometime.
afros
I,
unless you're Bob Ross.
I didn't like it, but I do think that, I mean, shoot, that stuff be good for TV.
Yeah, and I think
It was
that when
entertaining and
it
controversial. So
yeah,
it brought
yeah, it is.
views.
Yeah, and I would say I did keep on hearing that thing of, oh, it was okay then, it was okay then. I just don't know if all of the people really felt that way because it was something Nigel said about when the girl said she felt uncomfortable in the picture, the way he said she should handle it. And then he started talking about, and today, you just have to find your way to get through it and da, da, da. And I'm thinking, well, no, if all these people are on set and stuff, why should she have to be uncomfortable and then that person off set think it's still okay? So I'm like, okay, so Nigel, you was wrong then and you wrong now. I will
Hmm.
give Tyra, I feel like she was wrong in some instances then,
Mhm.
but at least she has now the self-awareness to say, yeah,
We'll see.
that was a bad idea.
We'll see.
Well, that too.
Could
That
that
too.
have been for the documentary for the TV?
Very much so.
For her to get I don't know. I don't know. I ain't gonna
She was trying to get ahead of it because she about to have some lawsuits.
You
But
think so?
I think that Nigel just felt some type of way. It's like Diddy. That's what it's putting me in the mind of. They setting her up and she's
We're gonna
trying
give
to
her a
be on
RICO
top of it.
charge.
Yeah, but I feel like Nigel just doesn't understand like how from a woman's perspective on how that would feel. So I think he was just speaking out of ignorance. I don't think that he was I don't think he's not a genuine person. I don't know, just from me viewing how and him hearing him talk and seeing how he is. So
Okay, so
sometimes people speak. Hmm?
what are you referring to, Lulu? I know you said
When he was
Nigel,
talking
but go ahead. I'm sorry.
when he was talking about that girl who felt uncomfortable on set and he was speaking on it
Oh,
and how he
right,
felt
right.
about it. And I feel like people speak up based off experience most of the time. I don't feel like he
Mhm.
really understood it. Oh, she could have just did this, she could have just did that, but really that's just not the case. She was uncomfortable. Y'all call it quits. But sometimes we are put in uncomfortable situations and we're at our job. So you
I
know.
think that it wouldn't have mattered what she did. They would have had something to say. Even if she
Mhm.
had did what Tara claimed, well, if it was me, I would have if she would have did that, y'all still would have had something to say. So, and then after it aired on TV and y'all saw like what really happened leading up to it, y'all should have really been like, dang, like he really was doing too much. And then the picture they chose was he was the only one groping her.
I would have smacked his ass right on the camera and made it look good. I would have respectfully slapped his ass. Oh, this is just part of the shoot. I do get when she was saying that, like, just sometimes I guess it's like you conforming. You at a workplace, you can't
Mm.
upset the cameraman, you can't upset people, so you got to do what you got to do. So take control of the situation. So she was giving advice based on the times because that is how it is. I feel like that's how it is.
So I guess I'll go first on rating this. I was pleasantly surprised. Like I said, I didn't watch the show. I knew like three women from the show, Takora, um, Pig Feet, and Yaya. So I was pleasantly surprised and I was very much entertained. I would love to have her more of her side of the story because right now it don't look good on her, but it is what it is. So I'm gonna give it a 9. For as a documentary, I think it was pretty good. I enjoyed myself. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 9. 9 out of 10. Lulu, what you got?
An 8 because I wanted to see Eva the Diva on it. And then, yeah, I wanted Tyra to talk a little more. So I'm going to give it an 8.
Do you think Eva didn't show up because she didn't want to be a part of that mess?
Yeah.
You think she got some stuff, some insight?
Mm-hmm. She knows.
Because that was season 3, right? If I'm not mistaken, like
I don't
I think it was season
remember.
3. I had did some research, like I said. I think it was season 3. So it was
Mhm.
still early, but the creative control still seemed to have been the producers.
Mhm.
I don't know. Meech, what you got? All this hair. Oh my gosh.
Mhm.
What you got, Meech?
I like how they were trying to bring all the different views in from the contestant to the Jays, to the Nigel, to Tyra. So I'm gonna say I might have to go and give it a 9, although I would have liked to see, Tyra more, but she was on there. This is what she wanted to show or what she wanted to be told of herself. So anything that she wanted to say, she was definitely given the platform and opportunity to do so. So yeah, I say 9 out of 10. Good piece to watch and have some conversation with your friends.
All right, y'all heard it. America's Next Top Model on Netflix right now. Make sure y'all check it out. It's worth the watch.